Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Return of the Knicks podcast here on the Sports Jedi Network. What's up, Nick Brethren? May the sports be with you and feel the force. We are back, Knicks Nation. We're going to talk about the NBA season, regular season schedule being released for our New York Knickerbockers. Another season of Knicks basketball on the horizon. I am excited. I cannot wait to talk about it. I know Chef Dan is working, but I know Chef Dan is also looking forward to getting back to the New York Knicks and seeing this team that, my goodness, we love to root for, with the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the ugly. We bleed orange and blue when it comes to basketball for our New York Knicks. Let's get right into it. The New York Knicks schedule has come out, and we all eyes are for the one and only October 25th at Madison Square Garden. We open the season with one of our rivals, the Boston Celtics. The Celtics take on the New York Knicks October 25th. I am excited to see that. We get to see Kristaps Porzingis. I know it's Porzingis, but if you watch along with me, I like to make fun out of his name with Porzingis. We see Porzingis, Tatum, Brown, that whole Celtics team against the Knickerbockers. My goodness, that's going to be a phenomenal game. We also have some in-season tournaments to break down. We know that the 3rd of November will be the first tournament, in-season tournament. So those are going to be happening Fridays into the mid-season tournament in December. So that's going to be a fun, interesting, different in the NBA. Looks for something to look forward to when we do different of the watch-alongs as well. We plan to do the watch-alongs, God willing, again here with your support, with your love, and with everyone backing us up. This year, I asked that we could get record-breaking watch-alongs. I know every Swinging John, Dick, and Mary are doing watch-alongs, but we were one of the second or third originators of the watch-alongs here. I'm not going to take credit of the first because there were others in front of us, but we've been one of the most successful watch-alongs in many, many years. And now everyone wants to get into the swing of things. So hopefully you guys know that we have a good nucleus, a core that likes to watch along with us, and I know you guys will be back, and I know you guys will be better than ever. So will we. So let's get right into it. We've seen a lot of different things with the Knicks here. First and foremost, the odds came out for the Knicks winning the championship after seeing the schedule. Vegas has it at the Knicks plus 5,500. So if you bet $100, you can win $5,550 for the Knicks to win the championship this season. Is that something, if you got extra $100 that you just want to lay around there? Remember, bet responsibly. Don't steal Peter to rob Paul. But if you have some extra $100 there, you know what? Throw it there, and you put it there on the FanDuel and let it ride. If you really believe your championship on your team, definitely. You know what? I wish I was in the state of New York or New Jersey where FanDuel was legal. Florida, it's not. I would have placed a $100, maybe a $200 bet. Knicks winning the championship. You gotta, what they say, put your money where your mouth is. And you know what? If I'm gonna be here rooting for this team, orange and blue, I want to put my money where my mouth is. I would drop $200 easily on the Knicks championship. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win. I'm not gonna limit it. You know how we talk here on the Sports Jedi Network, Return of the Knicks podcast. No limits, Knicks. We don't put limitations on our team. Sky's the limit, no limits. And if the Knicks, you know what? You ride it. You ride it like a hot dice on a bowl, when you're crane craps. You know what? If your dice is hot, you keep rolling. And you know what? You don't put any words to stop the Knicks. You let them roll. So that is the bet there for the New York Knicks here. One of the most interesting aspects of the season, the first 15 of the Knicks' first 25 games are on the road. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. I'm going to go with the good first. When you play 15 games on the road, when you're mostly road warriors, you get to galvanize your team. You come together. It's also going to tell you the makeup of the team, the chemistry of the team. If they go on the road and they start winning road games, starting to believe the Knicks, no doubt about, going to be a really good team. They're balanced. They're defensively just sound. They have the thumbprint of the head coach. But we'll talk about that as well there. But first, let's acknowledge the chat. You know, I missed everyone in the chat. Knicks Yak, bro. I miss seeing you, bro. I miss everybody that watch alongs from the Knicks and all the Knicks Return to the Knicks podcast on the watch alongs, man. You guys are totally missed. I miss you guys, speaking to you guys. I know you guys do a phenomenal job saying hello from time to time on the different sporting events, and I appreciate it, man. Here we go. It could happen. We are one of 6 teams in a real chance. Yes, indeed. Excuse me as I cough. Didn't run to the cough button. Now, Knicks Yak, $100, 5,500. Let's put our money where our mouth is. Let's put it. I'm going to put 200 down to make a 10 G's, man, because this is how much I believe in this team, the way they're going. But that. Back to that, we were talking about the 15 out of 25. That's a good thing. In the first, I'm going to positives, and I'm going to give you a little bit of the negatives as well, because you got to have there's 2 sides of a coin. Whenever you flip a coin, you're going to heads and tails. I'm giving you right now the good side. They're going to galvanize the team. Also, at the end, when you play more home games, and something the Knicks need to do is continue to show home dominance. Do not let teams come into Madison Square Garden and be a dominant road team on your floor. You defend home court, and if you got a lot of home games in the later part of the season, also when a lot of bodies are a little banged up, a little bit from the traveling, the ins and outs, the rigmaroles, you know, the minutia of a long NBA season, and you're at home, it says a lot when you're at home in bed, your own bed, home cooking, your schedule with your family and so forth. It's going to give a big help. Also, with your team doctors, recoveries, and so forth. You got to like that also later down the road for the Knicks. If the first 15 are on the road, that's the positive. The negative, if they start off a little bit dicey, hopefully not, and they're under expectation, the Tom Thibodeau coaching watch will be on early. And that's something, you don't want that stink. You don't want that stereotype or the buzzards floating around the team with the certainty of the head coach. Remember, Thibodeau I believe is on his 3rd year of a 4-year deal. If you're going to make a move or a coaching change, kind of like that will be kind of the opportunity to strike now in the beginning of the season. They start off late, and knock on wood, this is all hyperboles. This is all mook. You know, hopefully the words just go in the air and dissipate and just leave. It's all a bunch of hot air when it comes to Thibodeau and the Knicks starting off a little bit rough. But I'm just going to mention, you know, with those 15 out of the 25 games to start off, when I'm looking at that, I hope the Knicks don't fall in that trap, because there's a lot of folks, non-Knicks haters, and of course the clickbaiters, the ESPN, all that BSPN, like a lot of folks like to say, want to see the Knicks stumble a little bit so they can have something to write on. Eyeballs. Remember, negativity press brings eyeballs to not only their channel, to their columns, to the network. And hopefully this 15 out of the 25, the Knicks could get on a good start. You know, I'm not going to start going with wins and losses, because one, I haven't seen the team in the training camp. Also, we don't know, you know, we kind of see the rosters filling out. What are the effects on the FIBA? You know, we've seen RJ Barrett, we're seeing Hart, we're seeing our guy Brunson playing in the FIBA World Baseball Cup. About basketball, my God. Forgive me, guys. I'm doing Yankee watch-alongs too, so there's going to be a little baseball references from time to time. You know, so we cover we're not just one-dimensional sports. You know, we have a network of sports network here. So Forgive me for that blunder for calling it baseball. But in the basketball, the right recovery, do they have a layoff? Do they have a little bit of soreness coming out of the FIBA? How far, how deep will these teams, our players, go with their respected national teams? The Evan Fournier, is he still on his team? There's a lot of speculations with Fournier still not traded. Him has some choice words about not being played on his role on the team. Also, the speculation with other players not being talking about unhappy in their situation. I'm about Philadelphia, the Damian Lillard. I'm not saying they're going to get moved to New York, but there's a lot of uncertainties. That's why I'm not going to give you wins, loss. I got to see what it all looks like at training camp and the preseason to see what buzz and what information is coming out about the team. Hopefully there's no major injury. How does Julius Randle look after that minor ankle surgery? That's also a big part. Mitchell Robinson, his shape, his conditioning, now that he's a dad, and congratulations to Mitchell Robinson on his birth of his beautiful daughter. And to see how this team is going to react. Mitchell Robinson, is he going to come in shape? There's a lot of questions coming in. And it's going to get answered in training camp and in preseason immediately. Quentin Grimes is ready to take that next step. So the point is to give over and unders on the New York Knicks. It's going to be tough right now in August. The schedule just came out, for Pete's sake. We don't know what the schedule looks like, so I'm going to skip that on that there with that. We'll go to the next the Knicks going to have, wow. I was like, talk about all eyes on us, in the words of Tupac. The Knicks gonna have 25 national televised game, not title games, national televised game on. Wow, I saw that. I was like, you know what? The networks really think something about this Knicks team. Vegas likes us there. The odds there. The TV networks, Knicks draw ratings. You guys are awesome when it comes to Knick Nation. The Knick Nation are phenomenal. I think this fan base that I'm proud to be part of, to lock arms with my Knick brethren, we support this team no matter what. And I think these national televised games, sponsorship, viewership, the people that make money decision knows Knicks equals money. Regardless of the Knicks not winning since 72, 73 season, regardless of all the negative, all the different things that has happened, turmoils with this franchise, this team still draws. We are a faithful, loyal, loving fan base that will support and watch our team. No matter, even if the Knicks were pulled off the national televised and are strictly YouTube, you guys, it shows. You guys come and watch along in the droves, not just on this channel, but all the other different watch along platforms. You guys do a hell of a job. And you guys get commended, and national televised ranking show that they want to put the Knicks on national TV. Good to see that. Good to see the nation see that now. The Knicks can have to deliver. A little bit of pressure, expectation for the Knicks. Only time will tell if they live up to it. Jalen Brunson right now in FIBA, in the World Basketball Tournament, is doing a phenomenal job. They're leading Team USA. Jalen Brunson is a making of not just a superstar, an all-star, an all-NBA star. Hopefully he replicates and takes his basketball game to a different level, another level that we didn't see last season. And you're like, man, he was just superstar. He was great with the Knicks year one. It makes me excited to see what Jalen Brunson's encore year two with a DiVincenzo now in the mix with Josh Hart, and another year with Barrett and Randall and Mitchell Robinson, knowing their teammates, trusting who to know where to go, who to go to where at a key moment at the game, and where it gets motivated. With the Jalen Brunson second year, it's fun because now the first year filling out process is over, and they did a hell of a job his first year filling out process, don't you think, Knicks fans? I mean, second round, we won a playoff series in over 10 years, and got to the second round. I understand the second round was a sting, with losing to the Miami Heat the way we lost. But, that's why you have to give it a time to breathe, let it marinate, let it go over a couple of weeks after that second round loss. Still bothers me, that second round loss, don't get me wrong. But they went as far as that year one with Jalen Brunson, the way he played, And with all the different circumstances, who was injured, who was not injured, it's all excuses. At the end of the day, it was a hell of a season. I'm looking to see that encore, and I think that's just why the Knicks got rewarded with 25 national games. So that's a good job for the Knickerbockers. I really, really am proud of them as a group. I got the schedule. Let's put up the schedule here. I'll bring it right over here so maybe you can see it. Let's try this one better. Here we go. We got the schedule coming out. Of course, we're going to start with Boston. And of course, you see the preseason matchup. The preseason matchup there is going to be on the 7th with Boston, Minnesota. Again with Boston, Washington. It's interesting to see early in the preseason, the New York Knicks are going to see the Boston Celtics 3 times, twice in preseason, one to open up the series, and then right immediately game 2, they're on the road in Atlanta. You know, they open up in Madison Square Garden on the 25th. They go right on the road to Atlanta. Then they go to New Orleans. Then they got a back-to-back. Now, I'm going to mention about the back-to-back with the Knicks here. The Knicks have back-to-back with Cleveland early in the season. You know, interesting, very interesting to have that back-to-back series and a back-to-back with the Cleveland Cavaliers that are on Halloween over in November 1st. Then they play their first in-season tournament game against the Milwaukee Bucks. That's going to be another interesting on a Friday night. Of course, then they host the Clippers. Senate, we'll get to see Victor Wembanyama early in the season where maybe he's getting his feet wet. Maybe the game's a little too fast for Victor Wembanyama in November. Hopefully the Knicks could contain the rookie phenom early in the season. And that will be at Madison Square Garden on a Wednesday. Of course, you're going to have the Bobcats or AKA Hornets. I still call them the Bobcats. You got this. Then we'll see the Celtics. So right off the bat, we're going to see the Celtics 4 times early in the first 6 weeks of the season. I mean, 2 in preseason, 2 in the regular season. Interesting to see that they want to see that. I thought they were trying to leave that later for the season, where you got some interesting, juicy matchups when the NFL's taken a backseat or the NFL has finished. Super Bowl's out of the way. You got the showcase in March. February, where ratings are a little low. You want to get some buzz. You want to people eyeballs at the product. New York and Boston would have been a nice feature in February, a couple games, but they're giving this to us early. I guess they want to capture the eyeballs early. Knicks, Boston Celtics, and then we play the Hawks again. Interesting to see the Hawks again twice in Atlanta. Again down to Washington. One of the memorable games. I'm not going to go through every detail on there. We get to see this is a weird one too. The NBA schedule is a little kind of weird, funky. I know they got the in-season tournaments. It's going to be in the first week of December. It's going to be from the 4th all the way to the 9th. But then the Knicks return home to the Toronto Raptors, and then they go out to the West Coast trip. Here's one of their first West Coast trip. It's going to be Utah, Phoenix, Clippers, the Lakers, and then they'll kind of return. It's a road game, but it's back in the New York metropolitan area against the Brooklyn Nets before getting ready for the Christmas extravaganza. They will be playing Christmas Day. Yay. But before that, they'll play 2 nights before. They'll host the Milwaukee Bucks 2 games in a row. It kind of feels like a playoff series with the Bucks 2 games in a row on the December 25th, 23rd, and then they play on Christmas Day on the 23rd. That's interesting. And the Knicks will play at 12 o'clock. They will start Christmas Day. You open up your presents. You get all the Christmas festivities out of the way, breakfast, all that, and then you go on to the midday and you watch Knicks take on the Milwaukee Bucks. And of course, for the 3rd consecutive year here, the 3rd annual Christmas Day watch along, we'll be in our pajamas. We'll be celebrating. Chef Dan and myself, we'll be doing it again for the 3rd consecutive year, Christmas Day. We had some great times. We had some good times, and we will continue to have good times there on Christmas Day watch along. And then they'll play my hometown, Orlando, on Friday. I will be at that game. That's a Friday night game. I am on vacation. I'm always scheduled my vacation at the end of the year. That's no hidden agenda. No, nothing new to no one that knows me. I will be going to that game. I will be there live in person in Orlando, December at the end of the month, December 27th, the Jedi will be there to see the Magics take on the New York Knicks. And of course, the Knicks play on New Year's. So they not New Year's Eve, they'll play on New Year's Day, and that's against the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's an interesting game there, New Year's Day. We finally see the Chicago Bulls. Now, the Chicago Bulls, we'll see them early in January, then we won't see them until April. Until April. We don't see them much there. That's a weird, though. Again, this schedule is totally weird. The Martin Luther King Day, the Knicks will take on the Orlando Magics at Madison Square Garden. So, yes, that's a game sometimes I could make it depending on workload. It's at 3 o'clock. I think I'll be there. We'll be doing that game myself, too, live. So we'll be doing the Orlando Magic. Of course, we are so proud that we were able to do 98% of the Knicks games last season. We had one that we were both totally sick in November. Then Chef Dan solo when I was viewing, going to NXT to watch the wrestling. And then, of course, we were proud to do almost 98 to 99% of the Knicks. And then the season before, we did all 82 games. So with your love and your support, we appreciate you guys for helping us watch along these games. And of course, these are the nationally televised games that are here for the next 25 nationally televised games. They got the Celtics, the Pelicans. We're going to see Zion Williamson on the 28th. So that's going to be on NBA TV. Also, the Cavaliers on TNT. Of course, we're going to see the Milwaukee Bucks. That's a tournament game on the 2nd of November. The Spurs on ESPN. Of course, Victor Wembanyama taking a bite at Madison Square Garden. Of course, the Celtics. Anytime the Celtics and Knicks play, that's a must-see TV. Our first game against the Miami Heat, the rematch of the second round, it will be on November 24th. The Phoenix Young and Fun G-Money Phoenix Suns will play them on the 15th of December. Of course, we know about the Christmas Day on ESPN, the Bucks on a Saturday night on NBA TV. Another game that's intriguing, the Brooklyn Nets on TNT on the 23rd. We'll play the 76ers on the 5th on ESPN. A lot of speculations with the 76ers. We know that team is a little bit of a turmoil. Will James Harden be on that team? That's a lot of question and speculation there. Of course, we'll see. We'll play the Heat on ABC on January 29th, right before the NFC or AFC title game. I guess that game will be on a Sunday, where maybe that's before the Jets host the AFC title game at MetLife. So that'll be interesting to see that there. The Lakers will play the Lakers February 3rd. So we'll play the Lakers on ABC, and then the 8th before the All-Star break will be at Dallas. Then I believe after the All-Star break will be the Boston Celtics. That's a big game that I was telling you about. You want to get some eyeballs to people to watch us play the Boston Celtics. These two teams will be back and forth, possibly for division or possibly conference seeding there. That'll be interesting if everything goes well. We'll see Steph Curry and those Warriors on the 29th. Of course, their final TV game will be against the Celtics again. So Vegas is telling us the Knicks will be at war with the Celtics, and this is the nationally televised games for every team. The Knicks have 20. That's not including NBA TV. 25 including NBA TV, but they're in the third tier of the most nationally televised games. Of course, Lakers, and of course with LeBron James and company, and of course the Golden State Warriors, Curry, that group there. They are star power. The Phoenix Suns, of course, with Kevin Durant, the world champions, getting buffed. Their second most nationally televised games. The Celtics, they like the Celtics, and of course, we fall in that tier with the Luka Doncic, the Antetokounmpo, the Embiid, the Miami Heat organization, right in there. I'm interested to see that they're going to put the Grizzlies. That many nationally televised games with John Morant. I guess negativity, like I said, sells a little bit with the Grizzlies. They have a lot of questions coming into that season, but we'll leave that there with that. And those are the most televised games for the Knicks here. And, of course, that was the schedule, but let's get right back here. And we got the schedule there going. So your thoughts there. Thank you, Chad. Your thoughts on the schedule coming for the Knicks here. It looks like we're going to have some up and down double back-to-back games. My goodness here. And speaking about the back-to-back games, 3 times the Knicks will play the same teams in back-to-back, home and home. and that will be the Celtics. That will be the Cavaliers, the Bucks at the end, Philadelphia in the mid of March. So 3 times. Those are kind of weird in the same city. We saw that with the Knicks last season when they did that to the Chicago Bulls in December. If you remember, when they played those 2 games out in Chicago and they won those 2 games there. Now the game that everybody's wondering, when are the Knicks gonna play for number 1 seed on the Eastern Conference when they have to battle Obi Toppin and the Indiana Pacers for number 1 seed, and that will be in February 1st and the 10th this season. So Toppin will come in, will play at Madison Square Garden on the 1st. So we have to wait all the way to February 1st and the 10th to see Obi Toppin. And my God, and what an ugly uniform that Obi Toppin looks in. To look him in a gold and blue, Toppin does not look good on that uniform. But I digress, man. I digress. That's going to be for the number 1 conference, for a number 1 seed in the conference. Those battles there between the Knicks and the Pacers, and I'm just going to keep it there, folks. I'm just going to keep it there. So we see the Knicks schedule. We see the odds. What are your thoughts? What are the odds? What do you think the Knicks are going to do here when it comes to Vegas odds? Do you agree with Vegas? Vegas has 46 wins for the New York Knicks again. The Vegas, when they put out the number for the Knicks, when it's really low, the Knicks crush expectations. We saw them 2 years ago when they went 44. It was 44 games. Last season when they crushed Vegas expectations. On the year the Vegas had them winning X amount of games, they underachieved. So Vegas is totally wrong right now. 3 years in a row with the Knicks with their number. Right now they have them at 46 games. Again, I would love to give you a bold number, I will do that before game 1 of the regular season. I'll tell you what I think the Knicks will win. And also, it's the first podcast of the Return of the Knicks. I kind of want to have Shep Dan's thought on that as well. And we hope we had Darnell Davis to join us, but he's working. Salute to Kelvin T. Jones, who's watching us as well. Salute to Mr. Vernon Haglin. Thank you, Mr. Vernon. Appreciate you guys. Everyone, be civil. Pudge, nice. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, everyone. Big task at hand. I cannot forget about my big task at hand. Salute to you too as well. In the chat, we appreciate you guys. Salute to you watching along these videos and all the Nick brethren that watch it along with us. Miss Marie Matthews as well. We appreciate Maria, who's just a phenomenal partner on this channel in the chat. She's our chat sheriff. Always in the chat, always joining us in any stream. We appreciate you, Maria, and we appreciate and love you. Thank you so much for watching us, being part of this channel. And everyone, all the Nick brethren, we missed every one of you there. So again, I cannot wait. I hope you guys get to see this video a little later, those that are not watching us live, but also our new folks. So we have new streaming platforms, folks. We're in the new streaming platforms all across, not just YouTube. We're in Rumble. Of course, we're in Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, a new Facebook account. That old one got hacked and then just closed. So we have a new Facebook account, a new Instagram account as well. So we have a new Instagram account. Everything is in the bios. Please follow us. We're also in the Truth Social, Truvo, and of course we have our Discord channel. So we would love you guys to participate in that Discord. Also, you can find our audio platform. As soon as this video is done, we'll be loading it up in the audio platform, and we'll find us on anywhere you get your audio platform on Anchor, Spreaker, iHeart, you name it, you got it. Spotify. So just put in BX Sports Jedi Network, because I haven't changed. I kept we dropped the BX this year, just the title. I will continue being BX Sports Jedi, but now the channel we're gonna call it Sports Jedi Network, because we're not just limited to the Bronx, New York sports. We're gonna be sports all around. So we wanted to continue. Think big. You think big, you grow big. So we thank you guys. We're 10,000 subscribers strong. On our way to another 10,000. With your help, we ask you guys to continue to support the channel. Although we don't encourage, we don't push, we don't hand out the offering, the collection plate, but we also would love some super chats. This year we would love to have some financial help so we can continue to grow and bring on. And if you guys want to be a Nick panelist, just reach out to me on my email. Just, hey, BX, I would like to come on and talk some Knicks with you. I don't like to put the stream link on the chat. I want everything a little bit organized. So reach out to me on my email or any of the social platforms in direct message. I'll send you the link. Come on up and join me. Have this conversation. Let's have a conversation. Join the conversation. Talk New York Knicks basketball. We really want to talk about Knicks basketball. I like to, myself, Chef Dan, we're passionate Knicks fans. We're passionate Knicks fans. You see it. You know the rules. You see it for the love that we have for this team, or for all our teams on this network. So we really appreciate you guys for allowing me to talk about this schedule release, your thoughts. I'm going to talk about the in-season tournament. I still don't know the ins and outs of it. I guess the best record, you're in the group stage. Once the tournament starts, kind of like Las Vegas Summer League. I want to see that there. I had a question, but I'm gonna leave that when we do it, when I get Chef Dan on, and we can have a roundtable discussion with that. Is about, if the Knicks were to win this season, this Vegas season tournament, is it something that we're gonna go bonkers to celebrate? I've got mixed reactions with that. I'm gonna leave that with a teaser for next time on the Return of the Knicks podcast. I am your host, BX Sports Jedi Kev, the Don of the watch along, because I do a lot of watch alongs in all different types. If it's not wrestling, if it's not basketball, it's not football, baseball, boxing, MMA, you name it. If it's a sport that we love and we enjoy and have passion for, we will be doing watch along. So thank you so much. May the sports be with you. Feel the force of the Sports Jedi Network. And we'll see you next time. No Limit Knicks. More the blessings. Good night.